Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope all of you are having a good time at the conference. So what do you guys think about all the cool and exciting announcements from the keynotes yesterday and today? Universal Windows applications, Universal Windows platform, bridges to Universal Windows platform. Pretty cool, huh? I know I am excited. I hope all of you are looking forward to jumping right in and being part of the story. My name is Ashish Babbar. I'm a group program manager in the store team. Together with my colleague, Adrian Majak, we will cover what's new in store and Dev Center. I have a couple of quick questions for all of you. How many of you here in the audience have developed or published an app for Windows or Windows Phone Store? Awesome. Now, how many of you have published an app for both Windows and Windows Phone Store? That is pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you for letting us be part of your success story. It's because of your contributions, for those of you who raised your hands, Windows Store has been able to maintain a healthy momentum in getting good applications in the store. This is also matched by a sustained increase in developer interest and activity over a period of time. And all of this good momentum in getting applications is also matched by an increase in user engagement and also translating into more sales. In addition to getting good applications in the store, we are also continuously looking for ways on how to reduce the friction in overall acquisition experience as far as our end users are concerned. One of the major purchase inhibitors which we have noticed, specifically in developing markets, is the lack of credit card penetration. And finding ways to support new payment instruments, such as billing users using pre-established relationship with their mobile operators, has been consistently associated with an increase in sales. So we have been hard at work at adding support for more mobile operators, and we have added support for 30 more mobile operators in the course of last 12 months, bringing the total count to 90. Now, as Terry announced in the keynote yesterday, this new payment instrument will be available not only to Windows Mobile, but all Windows device families in Windows 10. And finally, we also have a very engaged user base in the form of Xbox Live users. As we announced at Game Developer Conference in March this year, you will soon have access to the Xbox Live SDK so that you can integrate Xbox Live in your games that can be targeted to the complete spectrum of Windows 10 devices. We understand as a company that it's a virtuous cycle of getting good applications in the store, and that translates into increase in user engagement, that further fuels developer interest from all of you, that results in more choices of good applications being available in the store. We understand that all of you as developers have choice of investing in other platforms, choice of investing your time and skills in other platforms that have made rapid stride in their ecosystems. We talk to developers like you, all of you, every day, and we do ask, what does it take for Windows to be the best platform? And they tell us, you tell us, what you need to be successful. What we hear is everybody needs opportunity to reach a large and engaged audience, opportunity to target a broad range of devices with high efficiency. You need your applications to be easily discoverable to as many users. You need new users for your application. You want to know that all your investments in applications and services can be leveraged across Windows device families without doing a lot of platform-specific work. You want to know that once you have users, you have various ways to engage and monetize them. We heard in the keynotes yesterday and today how Windows 10 is a big step in that direction. We saw how Windows experiences are evolving to become more seamless and adaptive across devices. We also heard Kevin Gallo and David Treadwell talk today about the Universal Windows Platform. This platform allows you to tap into this large, engaged audience, which we will have with Windows 10, and it creates opportunities for you to excite and entice your users. That brings me to the third core pillar of Windows 10, which is One Store. Let's take a look at how Windows Store is creating new opportunities, reducing complexity, and also becoming the core foundation of the ecosystem where developers like you can thrive and be successful. Now, this is a slide which we used in the very same session at Build in 2014. We used this slide to describe our vision of One Store. By the way, how many of you were in the same session last year? So this slide might appear familiar to most of you, all of you who raised your hands. And we used this slide last year to describe our vision for One Store. And I'm glad to announce that this vision is now becoming a reality with Windows 10. We have one catalog that hosts all your applications, games, music, movies, and TV shows. And this one catalog powers all the device storefronts on all Windows device families. This catalog also powers the web storefront on Microsoft.com, which we will talk about in a minute. And it also powers all the serendipitous app discovery experiences on Cortana and throughout the other surface areas, which Joe Belfiore demonstrated in the keynote yesterday. And finally, how do developers, that is you all, participate in One Store? The way you engage with One Store is using one Windows Dev Center that is going to be your single destination to distribute application to complete spectrum of Windows device families. That is the Windows 10 device families, such as Xbox, Windows Mobile, Windows Desktop, Surface Hub, and also the existing device families, which is Windows 8 and Windows Phones out there in the market. We are doing away with the need of you having to go to Windows Phone dashboard for managing your Windows Phone applications and Windows dashboard for managing your PC applications. Pretty cool, huh? What do you guys think? Awesome. Yeah, that has got me pretty excited as well. So let's talk about what is the content which is supported in Windows 10 Store. We are carrying forward your investments in applications and games from Windows 8 and Windows Phones into Windows 10 Store. So if you happen to have applications, for those of you raised hands, in both the stores, and you have linked them using the common reserved name and app identity, they will appear as one application in the Windows 10 Store. And so there is a call to action for all of you who have not done so. Please go ahead and link your applications so that you can start making an impact immediately on the Windows 10 Store. And also, as we heard in the keynotes earlier, with the launch of Windows 10, you guys will also be able to onboard universal Windows applications to the store. You can use as few as one application binary to target the complete spectrum of Windows 10 device families. Now, we all know that there are hundreds of thousands of classic Win32 applications out there. How many of you have developed Win32 applications? So quite a few of you. So until now, these applications have been left out of the store ecosystem. Well, that is going to change with Windows 10 Store. You will be able to leverage your existing code investments and make small tweaks to the packaging to transform them into Apex files that can be onboarded to Windows Store. We will also help you leverage your existing cross-platform investments. So if you happen to have these investments in the form of sites or services, the tools make it really easy for you to package them as Apexes that can be onboarded in the store. And if you happen to have an Android application, you can make small tweaks to it so that it can be supported on the Windows 10 store as well. Additionally, if you have an iOS application, you can leverage it to be the great starting point for a universal Windows application that can be targeted at all the complete spectrum of Windows 10 device families. And finally, we also have a great collection of music, movies, and TV shows in the catalog. So let's talk about, so we heard in the keynotes yesterday, Joe Belfiore talked about how Windows 10 is becoming more personal. The way it is becoming more personal is it seamlessly adapts to environments, devices, screens, and sensors which surround the user. Windows Store fits right into that theme. Windows Store is a universal Windows application. Yes, it is built using the same technology and the set of API, which is going to be available to all of you. And because it is an application, it can be updated independent of the operating system. And this sets us up to react to user feedback at much faster cadence. And because it is a universal Windows application, we are able to offer a consistent browse, search, and purchase experience across the complete spectrum of devices. So let's talk a bit more about the experiences on OneStore. So the homepage of the store consists of a combination of slots which promote applications which are editorially recommended and also algorithmically generated content, algorithmically identified content. So the large and prominent surface area which you see up here on the home page is the set of applications that have been identified by our editors for great user experience. We have an awesome editorial team who is always on the lookout for fresh and engaging content that has been developed by all of you so that it can be showcased to our users. Now, we have also made significant machine learning investments in better understanding the user preferences and tastes. We are using this information to significantly improve the recommendations which we make to the users that have been specifically selected for you. We also use information about users' device capabilities so that the store will only recommend content that is compatible with the device capabilities that are being used for browsing the store. For example, if an application requires telephony, it will not be offered to the user when they are browsing the store on Windows Desktop. So let's take a look at a quick preview of the store on Windows Desktop today. So apparently cows are the theme for the day. So this is how the store looks like for me as a signed-in user. And as I talked about, this is the prominent surface area where you can see the current set of applications being featured by our editors. And down below, what you see here is slots which have algorithmically identified content, top free apps, best rated games, all of these slots. I do want to call out that these slots take into account users' device capabilities and also region settings. Once again, if there are applications that are not compatible with the devices, they will not show up in the slots here. One cool enhancement that has been done on Windows Store is expanding the list of collections. Now, collections, for those of you who don't know, is a group of applications that belong in the same genre. And so, for example, last week, my daughter participated in a dance program, and I was taking a bunch of photos using my Lumia phone. And I was hoping to edit those photos before I can share them with friends and family. And so I was looking for applications that can help me with the editing experience. And so I jumped onto the store, and I found out this great collection, Picture Perfect Photos. So without doing a ton of browsing and searching, this collection helped me identify great apps which I wouldn't have discovered, or it would have taken me a lot of searching and browsing. So these collections evolve over a period of time. These are hand-picked applications that are grouped together by editors and are showcased on the homepage. One major additional enhancement which we have made is we have promoted the games category to the top of the menu. Now, games by far, as you know, are the most popular set of applications in the store. And so the games pivot also gets the same treatment as the homepage. It has its own set of slots with the editorially recommended games, as well as games which are picked for you as a user. Now, for those of you in the audience who were paying with a keen sense of observation, you might have noticed subtle differences between what I showed you on the store and what is up there on the PowerPoint. There are subtle differences in the layouts. I do want to call out that the store has flexible server-side programmable layouts that will change and adapt over a period of time as we get more insights into how the users engage with these new experiences. So let us say I pick one of the applications. So I chose to pick Skype, and let's walk through the details of Skype. So as you can see here, for Skype, this is the app details page for Skype. And it presents all the information which is required for making a purchase or an install decision. So I can see the description. I can see how the application will look like once it is installed on my device. One nifty little trick, one nifty little enhancement which was done on the UX is for linked applications that we talked about earlier, where the application is present on both Windows and Windows Phone Store, or for new universal applications, I, as a user, can also preview how the application would look like on other supported devices. So this is really cool. So in the case of Skype, I can see that the application is also supported on phone, and I can see how the application would look like once it is installed on phone. Now, this is something which we hope will increase the attach rate of users with the applications across their devices. So we hope that you as developers will benefit from this feature, and there is a call to action for all of you. When you start to submit your universal Windows applications in the near future, please make sure that you provide us your device-optimized assets so that these can be showcased to the users. We are not mandating this. This is something which you should be doing so that you can better showcase your applications to all the supported device families. We have also made considerable enhancements, machine learning enhancements to our ratings and review systems. So what we have done is these enhancements allow us to bubble up the most thoughtful and most useful reviews to the top of the user experience. This helps me as a user to understand what are the subjective experiences of other users who have already used and installed this application. And these same enhancements are also helping us to discount some of the fraudulent activity which might be happening around ratings and reviews in the store. We have also made similar machine learning enhancements in recommending related applications to the users. So while I am here browsing looking at the details for Skype, I can also see what are the other applications which are popular with other Skype users or belong in the same genre as Skype. So this helps in the app discovery in the moment, and it also extends users' engagement with the store over a period of time. We are also bringing the complete power of the catalog, that is the digital catalog of applications, music, videos, and games to the web. The web storefront will be integrated with Microsoft.com. Microsoft.com is our online store where we also sell additional hardware and software. The idea here is when the user is browsing the online store for a new tablet or a PC or a phone, they also get to discover the great collection of applications in the store. We also, because even though it is on the web, we are enabling the full experience of browse, search, and purchase on the web. The storefront also acts as a great discovery engine for users who are looking for Windows applications on Bing, Google, or search engine of their choice. The idea here is that it acts as a discovery funnel and drives traffic back to the Windows Store. And talking about driving traffic back to Windows Store, we are also happy to announce the Microsoft Store Affiliate Program. The Store Affiliate Program creates new opportunities for you as a developer to monetize your applications, blogs, or other web-hosted content. You as a developer can cross-link physical or digital goods from your applications. And you can earn a 7% commission in the process of referring games, apps, music, or other digital content. And there are fairly generous attribution windows. For in-app purchases, the attribution windows is like 14 days. For subscriptions, it is 6 months of renewals. And for paid downloads, it's up to 24 hours. For more information on the affiliate program, please make sure to watch the video on Channel 9 today. And yes, please don't forget to sign up for this program. We are also introducing Business Store for Windows 10. So Business Store enables organizations of all sizes to manage, acquire, and distribute applications in volume to their employees. The Business Store, so as far as the user or an employee is concerned, they access these applications using the familiar store experience, but using their for-work identities. And the Business Store also has the capability to integrate with the advanced management tools for advanced distribution scenarios. Now, the Business Store presents a new opportunity for you as a developer to increase the revenue and reach of your applications. But you can do so by providing access and visibility to your applications to a large install base of Windows 10 businesses around the globe. And more importantly, you can enable this across the complete spectrum of device families. So in the Vision Mobile State of Developer Nation, they quote a statistic that 43% of the enterprise developers make more than $10,000 per month versus 19% of developers who target the consumer space reach the same revenue potential. So I highly encourage you to tap into this opportunity. And we have made it that simple. By default, we have opted all of your existing applications in the Business Store. And for you as a developer, when you can leverage the new Windows Dev Center submission experience to publish and distribute your applications to both the business and consumer store in one go. So I hope this has you excited about participating in the Windows Store. Now I would like to turn over to Adrian and talk us through the details of One Windows Dev Center. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashish. Good morning. My name is Adrian Majak. I'm a Principal Program Manager in the Universal Store. And it's my privilege to give you an overview of what's coming in the new Windows Dev Center. So last year, we continued our journey of convergence. We introduced the notion of a single registration for a developer account so that you could submit your apps into the Windows Phone or to the Windows 8 store. We also introduced the concept of application linking so that an application that I purchased as a customer in Windows Phone, I would also be entitled to that application on my Windows device as well. However, we still had, or still have, two dashboards where you have to go to manage your applications. So with Windows 10, I'm happy to to highlight that we are going to have one dashboard with which you have to come to submit your applications. And by introducing this one dashboard, we are reducing the cost of business in dealing with Microsoft from an App Store perspective. We're also introducing an extended set of capability in order to maximize your return on investment in being in the Windows ecosystem, giving you the opportunity to maximize your revenue through the store. And I will go through those highlights later on in the talk. Yesterday, after the keynote, we released the new dashboard. It is available in preview mode worldwide for developers that have an account with us. And what I'd like to do is just give you a quick overview of what that looks like. So here is the new dev.windows.com. This is the destination for you as a developer to come to learn about the opportunity in the Windows ecosystem. The programs that were discussed and announced yesterday are available through this site. You can learn about Windows 10, learn about the bridges that Terry talked about, coming over from iOS and Android. It's where you can retrieve the SDK. It's where you'll find our community, our blogs. And as someone who wants to actually submit applications through our Windows store, this is where you come to access the dashboards. So we have the preview site. But because it's preview, we still have access to the existing Windows Store and Windows Phone Store, where you can go and manage your applications today. When we release Windows 10, we will make the new dashboard the only dashboard that you will need to go to administer your applications. So I'm signed in as an existing developer. Two things I want to call out. So this is the new experience. My existing applications have been migrated and are available through this site. So I have two applications here, Crash Counters and Contoso Demo. So when you sign in into your account, you will see all of your existing applications available under the My Apps section. The other thing I want to call out, sorry, let me go back. The other thing I want to call out is that across the entire experience, we want to give you data to support your decision making when it comes to merchandising and monetizing your applications. So from the home page, from the overview page, you will see information on how your applications are actually doing in the store. And this is an experience that we've interweaved throughout the dashboard. And I'll come back to the site later and give you an overview of the analytics and the scope of analytics that we've implemented. So from a one registration perspective, it's business as usual. It's one registration, and you have access to the new dashboard. But we're doing some other things underneath the covers. So to ease the registration burden on you. So today, if you wanted to take part in ad monetization, you would have to go and register in another system. With the new Dev Center, we handle that registration on your behalf. For our international developer community, we've simplified the tax registration process. Today, we have to submit a W-8 form for the IRS. We've reduced the complexity of that submission. We'll give you real-time validation so that you can course correct any errors, and the turnaround and the success rates are improved as a result. We're also going to introduce the support for multi-user accounts. Today, it's one user associated with a developer account. Later on this year, we will introduce the notion of multiple users associated with your developer account with role-based access control so that you can delegate responsibility, whether it's uploading and submitting the application versus configuring ad monetization. You'll be able to delegate those activities to other individuals within your organization. And that's a feature that will come later this year. From an app submission perspective, there's just a single consistent process for submitting your apps, whether they're targeted at the Windows 10 device family or the existing Windows 8 or Windows phone. You'll also be able to create a single application that has packages for all of those device families. And so you'll be able to submit one application with one set of merchandising metadata, one pricing model that applies to all. As Ashish called out, you'll also be able to come into the Dev Center and determine whether the application should be made available publicly through the commercial store, or whether the application is targeted within your own organization, within your own organization's business store. Through the Dev Center, we'll also support your ability to configure and manage additional services. So if your application is, let's say, a game, and you want to incorporate Xbox leaderboards or gamer tags, through the Dev Center, you'll be able to complete that configuration. And later on this year, we'll introduce the notion of application flighting, where you will be able to release your applications to your customer base in a sequenced manner to verify before you go through a global deployment. In terms of the store certification, we'll continue to apply the same set of certification policies that we do today for both Windows Phone and the Windows 8 store. And you will continue to benefit from the quick turnaround time between you submitting your application or making an application change and those changes being reflected in the actual store. One thing that we will require that we've carried over from the Windows store is the need to apply a Windows age rating for all of your new submissions. So you've gone through the process of registration, you've created your fantastic application, you've submitted it into the store, then you're going to go through this cycle of acquiring customers, engaging with your customers, and declaring a monetization strategy to maximize your revenue opportunity. Through the store, we're providing a number of merchandising opportunities to get your applications in front of your potential customers. We're introducing the web store, so through Bing and Google, customers can discover your apps through search. We've made enhancements across Windows 10, providing additional surface areas where your applications can be merchandised. but we're also going to give you, the developer, tools to self-promote your applications. And we've done that in three ways. You'll be able to apply campaigns, deep links to your applications with campaign IDs associated with those deep links. And then you can communicate those out through your existing web presence, social media, Twitter, Facebook, and so forth, or include those in email campaigns. So this is a fantastic opportunity for you to self-promote your applications to your potential customer base. We're also introducing the notion of house ads. So if you have more than one application, and one of those applications has been acquired by a number of customers, you can advertise your other applications to those customers. You can also purchase advertising space in the other applications that are in the store, which is another way that you can get your applications being advertised and increase your acquisition opportunities. We're also introducing support for promotional codes. You'll be able to mint codes and give them away to your customers that they can apply to paid apps and to in-app purchases. This is a great way of facilitating initial usage of your applications, especially those that you've declared for purchase. And then we've spent a lot of time building out a great set of analytics so that you can assess how successful you have been with your marketing strategies. Moving on to customer engagement, so ratings and review continue to be the primary way that I, as a potential customer, can assess, based on other customers' feedback, how well other people are thinking of your application. It's the primary channel by which customers give you feedback on your application. And again, from a reporting perspective, we are building out and providing trend analysis reports that you'll be able to use to track how have my ratings and reviews trended over time. And you'll be able to correlate those and compare those with other events. Maybe you've released the next version of a particular application, and you can assess what was the impact of that update in terms of the overall feedback from your customers. For those of you who are making your applications available worldwide, you're going to get feedback from multiple languages. And so we've added this nice feature into the Dev Center where we are integrated with the Bing translation services so that we will auto-translate international reviews coming back to you. We know that you also want to engage back with those who are giving you the feedback. And previously, we had support for private responses. With the new Dev Center, we are also introducing the support for public responses so that you can get the message back on particular feedback communicated broadly to your customers. So from a monetization perspective, we're seeing across the store that revenue is made up in terms of 55% of revenue coming through in-app purchase, 31% coming through ads, and 14% coming through paid ads. That's what we're seeing in the market today, through the store today. And the business models that we have in Windows, in the existing app stores, we're bringing those over. And so based on your application category type, whether it's focused on commercial or on consumers, you can adopt the appropriate monetization strategy to make to maximize your revenue opportunity. Later on this year, we will also extend our pricing models to include support for subscriptions on IAPs. We're seeing that revenue through advertising is growing. We introduced the ad mediation capability, but with the new Dev Center, the ad mediation is deeply integrated. So that, again, we are reducing the cost of management by bringing that all through to the Dev Center. You'll be able to combine Microsoft Advertising Platform with third-party ad providers to maximize your fill rates through ads. And we're also introducing support for additional ad formats. So we will support videos. There's a fantastic deep dive on ad monetization tomorrow. I think it's at 5 p.m. It's late in the day, but I highly encourage you to attend that session because that's the one that's going to tell you or help you with how to make money through ad monetization. 12:30, even better. No excuses. So from a rich analytics perspective, I'm going to go back to the site. And really the best way of talking about analytics is to show you how we're presenting that. So I'm going to go through to Contoso demo. Open up analytics. So we have analytics that have been broken out across acquisitions, health, ratings, usage, channels, and conversions. There's just a wealth of data that we are presenting back to you through the Dev Center. And the team has done a fantastic job in making sure that we're presenting the right sets of data to support you with your decision-making process. I'm just going to pop into one of these. I'm going to pop into ratings. So there's a consistent way of our representation here. We present top-line information. So for this particular application, 3.7 is my average rating score. It's come in from 2,400 plus customers. And then we also have a breakdown of whether those are new ratings or revised ratings. We have our trend analysis, and I can use this data to compare with other activity that's happened against that application. And we also break down that data on a per market basis. So you can be very granular to assess who's giving the feedback. Maybe the application is doing very well from a US perspective, but isn't doing so well in France. And maybe that's because of a localization issue. So there's lots of data that we're presenting back to you to help you understand how well your application is performing in the marketplace. And you'll be able to download all of the data that we have, all of the reports, so that you can consume that in your preferred reporting tools outside of the Dev Center if that's what you would like to do. Okay. So application in the marketplace, you've got this effective monetization strategy. Now it's the important part. It's about getting paid. That's why we're here. And so we've done a number of things in the payouts framework to get you paid out faster. So we've converged all of the revenue from all of the app stores so they come through as a single payout activity. So if you're accruing revenue through a Windows Phone application or a new Windows 10 Universal app, we will combine those revenue streams into a single payout activity. We're also reducing the payout threshold. So across multiple markets, we are reducing the payout threshold from the current $200 to $25. And again, we are going to give you rich payouts reports to support your financial reporting and your tax reporting. And here's just an example. So we'll provide you summary information, but we'll also break out the revenue streams per store across each application and from which market you've been making the money. So that wraps up the overview of the new Dev Center. I hope that you agree that there are some fantastic enhancements in the new experience. It is available in preview mode worldwide, and we would appreciate your feedback. So please, for those of you who do have an existing account, do go into the site. You'll find a feedback button right at the bottom of the screen. The engineering team back in Redmond are literally the other side of that feedback screen. So if there's things that you're seeing that you find are problematic, maybe there's data inconsistency with the applications that we're presenting to you, there's features that you'd like us to build out, send us that feedback through this mechanism. And with that, thank you very much. I will hand back to Ashish.
So let's do a quick recap of what we heard in the session so far today. So we heard about how Windows Store is creating new opportunities to reach a broad set of devices. We talked about the Store Affiliate Program and also the Business Store. We also talked about how Store is reducing complexities, how we are providing unified experiences across devices, the app discovery enhancements, the little tweaks we are doing to increase the attach rate to your applications. Adrian also walked us through the One Windows Dev Center that is going to be a single destination to distribute applications to users across Windows device families and also acquire, engage, and monetize them. But this is a journey. This is a journey for us. We are working hard on it to addressing your feedback, which you have given us from various other forums. We have been listening to you on the User Voice Forum, the direct feedback which you have been giving us in personal one-on-one sessions, and all the other community forums and blog posts. So we are hard at work. We will be rolling out more features continuously on a rolling basis. So I have a call to action for all of you. Adrian talked about the preview of the Dev Center being available today. Please do check out the dashboard preview today. And also, while you are there, download the latest Windows 10 SDK and start developing universal Windows applications. And here's also a list of the deep dive sessions from the store team. So these are the deep dive sessions where you will actually learn about distributing, how Dev Center helps you in distributing universal applications. They will go into details of the various cases, how the Dev Center helps you in acquiring users and monetizing applications. So there will be walkthrough in each one of these sessions. So I highly encourage you to attend all of these sessions, which are happening over the course of today and later tomorrow. And we have some time for questions, so we are happy to take questions. But in case if we run out of time, we will also be available in the Windows Insider Lounge for the course of next 60 to 90 minutes. So we will be happy to take more questions over there and continue the conversations. So with this, I encourage you guys to ask us questions.
Will the price be the same for all Universal apps? Can a desktop app have more functionality than a phone app? And can you adjust the prices based off device?
Got it. I think there are 3 questions in that. So the very first question is, can the Universal Windows application for desktop have more functionality than the one which is available on Windows Mobile? So is that the first part? So you can use as few as one package to light up all of this functionality across various screens. So you should be able to detect what screen, what device your app is running on, and accordingly light up the additional functionality. But if you, as a developer, decide to create separate packages, the Dev Center will allow you to submit packages which are targeted at various device families. So the advanced functionality is also available to you as a developer. As of now, if the application is if it is in one application, and you can have practically 1 to infinite number of packages associated with that application, but the price remains unchanged across the application. So if you, as a developer, are looking to price the application differently, you may consider using in-app purchase to monetize the application features, or maybe consider having them as separate applications. Somebody raised their hand over here. Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, thank you for your presentation and thank you for your work. Some features are very highly anticipated. But do you have plans to support and update Dev Center application for Windows Phone and Windows?
Yeah, so we are working at it. We are working on it. We don't have a specific schedule to share at this point of time. Yes, but we are aware that this is an awesome tool to look at your analytics and reporting while you are mobile. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hello. This is a great presentation about the new store. And I have one question about subscription. When will this model come to the store?
Say that again, please.
The subscription model?
The subscription model?
Yeah.
So we are working on subscriptions, and they will be available in the store sometime later this year.
Will this model come with Windows 10?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So it will be rolled sometime later in this year on Windows 10, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
So I'm interested in knowing what the story is with beta distribution. You mentioned flights. The current Windows Phone store has specific functionality for beta distribution, though.
So we will carry forward the feature of beta distribution for Windows Phone applications on the Windows Dev Center as well. And we are also looking for ways on how that feature can be available and rolled out to universal Windows applications for Windows 10 as well.
Okay, thank you.
I had a question about Xbox certification. So that's a much more rigorous certification in the past than the store certification.
Yeah.
So if we target Xbox, will it still need to go through that rigorous certification? And is it like can it pass for certain platforms and not another, or is the entire release hold back? And then the final part of that is, well, I guess we just maybe start with that.
Are you currently an Xbox game developer?
Well, working on apps.
You're working on applications for Xbox.
Yeah.
So we will. We will have more details to share. I think there are various levels of engagement with the Xbox developer community. So we have a depth engagement with select Xbox partners, and the certification times vary based on the kind of application or game you're developing. So we will have more details to share on this sometime later within this year.
Okay, and then just my last question was, can the user select to download them all to all of their Windows 10 platforms on one device, or do they need to go to each individual platform to download an app?
So to begin with the launch of Windows 10, if you have to pay once for the application, and so you get entitled to the application on all the devices, but you have to explicitly trigger the action of installing the application on each of the devices.
Thank you.
I had a question about app sliding. We have on iOS and Android a feature that's called progressive rollouts, where we can, target 10% of our users, 20%. If everything goes well, we go 100, or we can roll back. Is there anything planned for such a feature?
That is what Adrian was mentioning about earlier. That is the exact same thing which we have in our mind and are trying to, and we are working through the details on how we can make this feature available on Windows 10 for all universal applications.
Okay. And the other question I had is in the Dev Center, on the dashboard, when you show the ratings. So currently we have several applications, one for Windows Phone and one from Windows, which are two totally different code bases. And so there were only one rating. So I was wondering if you merged the two ratings and did an average of these, or will we have separate ratings, like one for Windows Phone, one for Xbox, one for...
They're all going to be
All
merged
merged.
ratings, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Go ahead.
In your talk, you mentioned that if someone is looking for a particular kind of application and they're doing it on a device, say a tablet, and there's some applications that aren't compatible with a tablet, that you won't show them in the results. And I'm wondering, I do a lot of shopping, and on Amazon, they have a different approach.
Yeah.
When you search for an application, they'll show you a list, and then if you pick on the detail for an application, it has a list somewhere
Yeah.
of all the devices that you own, and it will show you which devices are compatible with the app. And that would be, for me, for example, I do all my shopping on a laptop, but it might be for the phone or a tablet or whatever, and it would be really a pain in the neck to have to go to each different device to find compatible apps.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. So I simplified my previous statement a little bit. So we are using a combination of those approaches. So in certain cases where you as a developer will get the flexibility of when you're coming and submitting your applications to Dev Center, you will be able to pick what are the hardware sensors which help light up all of your application functionality. So the users will still see those applications in the store, and if they try to acquire them, they will get a warning from the store saying, hey, you need a keyboard or you need an XYZ device for making full use of these applications. But there are certain cases where the application wouldn't simply work on the device. There are a set of cases. In those cases, we choose to hide the application from the users. So we are following a combination of both the approaches.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If someone is logged on with like a Microsoft account, there ought to be some way to keep track of all the devices that account owns. And
Yeah.
then when you display the results, display everything that would be compatible for the list of devices that account owns.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, I think we can look at doing some studies and figure out how to roll that out in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, will the new subscription system support like a catalog of apps? So for example, if I have 10 apps as a publisher, you pay a subscription fee and you get access to all 10 apps. And if the subscription expires, you don't get access anymore, or is it just done on a per app basis?
So we will have more details to share on subscription later in a matter of few months.
Okay.
So we are not sharing more details right now.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Pastor, thank you for your conversation. Thank you for your introduce Windows Store. So I have one question about how to publish the Windows Store for the Win32 application. Can you share the?
Yes. So there is a separate talk. I think it might be happening right now, But you should be able to catch up on Channel 9 that goes into the details of how to use your existing Win32 code and package it as an Apex file. And it's at 3:30, thank you. So it is actually scheduled at 3:30 later today. So you should take the opportunity to attend that session. And so once you have that application packaged as an Apex, that will be supported in the store sometime in the near future. So we are working on enabling that feature on the Windows Dev Center. So we will have more details to share on the specific timeline sometime later this year.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me? So, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Are you planning on like or having a public API so that people can integrate into CIs and stuff? For
Yeah, that is a really good feature. So we are aware of that as that is a very popular request from our developers, and we have that as one of the notable features on our backlog and are working through it.
Okay, thanks.
That was my question as well.
Oh, cool. Yes. So I think he might be going. So go ahead. Yeah.
So I have a question on deploying a Win32 application through the Windows Store. So historically, Windows 32 application is usually charged by install basis, not a user basis. And while Windows Store historically charge on user by user. And if your user buys the application, and that can be deployed to other devices if users own. So what is the kind of policy for the Windows 32 application for the Windows Store?
I'm not sure I understand your question. Are you asking for various kind of licensing options? For example, today the application, we charge the user once so that they can install it across devices. You're asking for other ways to monetize that so that the application is charged on per device basis?
Yeah, that's
got it. Yeah, I think that is something which we have heard specifically from our game developers, and we are figuring out how to what direction to take at this point of time there.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. So one last question.
Thank you. My question is about the certificate. So I know you've been saying the turnaround is quick, but is there any rough timeline, like maybe 1 week the app will be certificate? And how about the rough timeline of when the store will be open for submission? Because I know the Windows GA is actually quite soon, like July. So probably I heard the store will be open like June beginning. Then probably we just have a couple of weeks for the turnaround.
Do you have applications in the Windows or Windows Phone Store today?
Yes.
So what is the typical turnaround time you have experienced?
Because basically we're doing an OEM application, so it's like we already have the apps in store. So the OEM need to hit the timeline, like once the Windows GA, then the apps should be there to be ready for the users to download.
So I'll answer that question in general fashion. So typically, a large majority of our applications, close to like 60–70% or even higher percentage of the applications that are submitted to both the stores, even today, they get a quick turnaround time of like less than half a day. And so we expect that trend to continue for universal Windows applications or large majority of universal Windows applications as well. And as far as the timelines of being able to submit, I believe your question is specifically of when you can submit universal Windows applications to store? Is that,
not really, maybe the traditional Metro apps and desktop app.
Got it. So your question is specifically around the traditional classic Win32 applications.
Right.
Okay. So we will have the specific timelines shared sometime later this year. So we don't have specific schedule to share right now.
Okay, got it. But then, sorry, the follow-up question. For then, if that's a classic desktop app,
yes.
then it used to passing by some we need to get some Windows logo, some certificate. and then we can deploy the app. Then in the new one store, will that be the same? Like we still need the logo thing?
So let me play back your question. What you're asking is if you have to do your own deployment of an application to Windows phones today, you need a certificate so that you can do your own enterprise deployments.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're asking for is what is the story going to be in Windows 10? Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay. So for Windows 10, as we introduced that we have the concept of business stores. So you as an enterprise organization can take advantage of the business store and let store do the distribution for you. But if you want to continue the trend of having your own deployments, you can do so as well. So both options are supported for one store.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you for attending this session. Have a nice day.